Back in 2014, I encountered the Japanese anime Attack on Titan, written by Hajime Isayama. As a 13-year-old, I absolutely loved the concept of an apocalyptic world infested by titans, creatures taller, stronger, and sometimes faster than humans, only existing to eat human beings and for that purpose only. This series is a beehive for spoilers, so please be cautious so I don't ruin this masterpiece of an anime for you. So, the whole show starts with humanity as we know it, living inside 3 separate walls. Wall Sheena, Wall Rose, and Wall Maria. They do not know why they live here, but it's protecting their society from that monstrous threat living outside, the Titans. There are 3 different military categories that the people living inside the walls can join. The first, the wall garrison, whose job involves maintaining the walls and securing the safety around it. The second category is the one only available to the top 10 within each training regiment. This is the military police. The guards protecting the royalty and also maintaining order within the richest and most prosperous district, the inner wall I previously mentioned called Sheena. The last category is the one most central to our main crew and also the most dangerous. This is called the Survey Corps. They venture outside the walls, hunting down titans, armed with their maneuverable gear which shoots harpoons connected to metal ropes, giving them the opportunity to glide and fly through environments using gas to speed up and go great distances. These maneuverable gears is extremely useful, considering that with using them, the Survey Corps can get high enough to reach the nape of the titans, their weak points, and also the only way to finish them off for good. Their emblem is neither a rose or the emblem of a wall, but a blue and a white wing representing the wings of freedom. I am really sure that anyone who clicked on this video have watched this series, and if not, then I know this information is a lot to process. But it builds a world that actually sounds livable and makes sense given the situation their society is in. Beneath the walls, there are many similarities to our universe with class systems, politics, and a government. And with a government comes corruption, something the military police have no problem taking benefit from. This world is massive, and it never stops giving you new information about how things work, which gives it some sort of realism. And usually realism attracts an audience. A massive audience. When I first watched it, I really liked the idea brought before me. It was kinda new for me seeing an Eastern touch to the typical Western ideas of an apocalyptic world. It's a clip from the intro that shows these Godzilla-like pictures in a 50s horror style, but featuring titans instead of monsters. And this reminds me of the early monsters of Japanese television. That might just be me overanalyzing, but I still really like these shots. Back to the story. As humanity lives like this for a decade, one massive tragedy turns everything they created around. And I am talking about the day that humanity crumbled. The day that a colossal titan appeared. Being 60 meters tall, the colossal titan manages to peek over the wall, looking at the humans protected by it. Then everything turns quiet, and Colossus Titan kicks the wall, creating an open, gigantic hole. At this moment, humanity realizes that they are not safe. They are prey to these titans. And the worst possible outcome for this world is starting to become reality. The titans infest the city, and the slaughter begins. And when you thought this hell could not become worse, a new titan arrives, covered in armor, running at immense speed, creating a new hole leading into the area of Wall Maria. This is when the Titans gain the upper hand. It's an undefeatable opponent, and humanity is 0-1. Eren, the main character, watches his mom get eaten while he gets carried away with his adoptive sister Mikasa. He swears to Mikasa and his childhood friend Armin that he will kill every last one of the Titans, and proceeds to become a recruit in order to become a member of the Survey Corps. 5 years pass, and after Eren and his team grows up and finish their training, they finally get to choose which part of the military they want to join. At this moment, Eren finally gets the feeling of humanity kicking back at the Titans, and maybe someday they will win back their freedom. As he enjoys the wind standing on top of the wall, he is abruptly interrupted by the colossal Titan appearing behind him, ready to breach the second wall. I jumped in my sofa watching this as it caught me completely off guard. This show was only getting better and nothing could destroy my interest for this, except the next episodes. You see, I thought this was a survival horror series, but after a couple episodes, Eren gets eaten by a Titan only to die, and that was that. There was no show after this. Eren is dead. Except he weren't. He explodes out of the Titan and rises up, but now as a Titan himself. After this point, I started to dislike the show. I watched the season, but I didn't pay much more attention to it. The series got itself a massive fanbase that was too cringe for me to handle, and I just chose to not be as invested in it as I once were. I know, it's an arrogant thought, but it was really cringy back in 2015, holy sh*. Sure, I read some of the manga and tried to catch up, but it didn't have my interest anymore. That was until this winter. I thought that the idea of Eren becoming a Titan was a big mistake. They went against their original plot to create tension and making what seemed like an apocalyptic horror series to become a fighting or typical shonen anime. But as lame as I thought it were, this point is actually the most crucial in Attack on Titan's story. After this, the plot managed to save this big incident by actually making sense out of it. And when you get the full context, it couldn't have been executed better. After finding out that the final season will air now in 2021, I had to get into this series again, and I regret nothing. As more of the world around Eren got explained, the more invested I got. I finally felt my old love for this series coming back. Everything I wondered about got explained. And as the series progresses, we'll learn that this world has got more secrets and truths than we could ever imagine existed. And this is the reason that I started loving this series again. There is another unique quality to Attack on Titan which I rarely experience in anime or manga, and that is the real emotions it brings with its characters. And no, not in a cringe Naruto way. To bring up an example, I will talk about the most shocking scene from the series that really gives you the chills, and that is who the Colossal and Armored Titan actually is. As we know, some people can turn into Titans like Eren, and by the looks of it, the same thing must be the case with the Colossal and Armored. But when you find out that the ones controlling these Titans is two of Eren's training buddies, Bertholdt and Reiner, you feel some sort of sympathy for them. Sure, it's hard considering they breached the walls and tried to bring end to humanity as we know it. But there is still something quite unsettling about them being the real villains. Or are they the real villains? that, I'm heading into my final subject, and that is the mystery of Attack on Titan. If you think about it, what are the odds that we are the only planet in the universe with existing biological life? This theory about something or someone unknown out of our reach is at some times unsettling, but it is also the main factor at the end of Attack on Titan's third season. After reclaiming the long-lost Wall Maria and finally bringing peace to humanity for a while, they encounter the basement in Eren's childhood home, where every truth about the world around them is hidden by Eren's father, Grisha Yeager. And when you finally learn what is really going on, you think back at the earlier season's outros and see that this is something that's been shown a lot. The truth found in the basement have been seen by you, yourself, teasing you with information you can't seem to understand, and in my opinion, that's why Attack on Titan's mysterious atmosphere is the main factor of why this series is so great. The concept of finding the real truth behind everything is something I really like, and this may be a weird comparison, but it kinda reminds me of the motivation and concept of Persona 4, a game I also really like. And with that, I'm gonna end this video. Just remember that this series is much more than Titans. Don't make the mistake I did. Watch the whole thing and learn what really is behind the fall of humanity.